Welcome to today's episode of What Does the Law Say with Ariyike. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. And don't forget to share. So right into today's discussion, to avoid stories that touch, let's talk about Zoom weddings in 2021 and if they are legally binding. So we know that last year, 2020, because of the COVID-19 and the global pandemic, it is a global pandemic and the spread of it, most weddings had to put on hold. Some people had to have like a Zoom wedding and all kinds of things just to make sure that they do not miss out on getting married in 2020. Now in 2021, due to the situation report, COVID-19 hasn't left yet. And so it means that gatherings are also restricted. The capacity, the amount of people you can have in a public space is also restricted. But mostly people might not be able to, have their weddings the way they wanted to. So now the question is, the weddings that held via Zoom last year, were they valid? The ones that are supposed to, or the ones that might hold this year, will they be valid? So let's go right into it and see what the law provides. So if you have not seen the video I did on marriage, you can just go back where I talked about the validity and the invalidity of marriage. It was very interesting. You can go back and then watch it. So now, are Zoom weddings valid or are they legally binding? So the first step in answering that question is, if you are conducting or you are getting married via Zoom, is it that the marriage itself is being conducted according to the law, but people are just watching via Zoom? That means you are just airing the ceremony via Zoom. Or it is that you are joining exactly, you are solemnizing exactly via Zoom. Those are the two questions, and those are the things you want to look at before we say whether it is legally binding or the marriage is valid. So now, under the Marriage Act, solemnization of marriage is supposed to be done in a licensed place of worship by a licensed minister or at the registry. Just like I explained in the video on marriage, that if you are going to get married in a licensed place of worship, it means that that place of worship has been licensed by the marriage registry. And so the marriage registry gives that place a license and says, okay, you can go ahead with marriage. A Zoom wedding has no license and is most likely not done by the licensed place of worship. However, in the event that you're actually getting married and then it is in a licensed place of worship by a licensed minister, but you are just airing it via Zoom, your marriage is valid, your wedding is valid, because you're only airing it via Zoom. You're only letting others watch it via Zoom. Not that one person is in Kutuwenji, the other one is in Kafancha, and they say, okay, the minister is in, where can the minister be? Maybe in one estate in Akowojo. Is there a estate in Akowojo? Maybe the minister can be in one estate in Akowojo and is trying to join you that in Kutuwenji and you that in Kafancha, trying to join you together. That marriage would not be valid because both of you must get married either at the registry or a licensed place of worship by a licensed minister. So generally, if you are conducting your marriage through Zoom, it is not valid. But if you are conducting it in a licensed place of worship, or you've received a license from the marriage registry to do your marriage in a particular place, it is valid. However, you can air it via Zoom and that won't be any problem. So your options are, you can either go to the registry, you and your partner or you and your intending spouse with the family that matter, and then solemnize marriage or get married, or you can get that license. Where at the marriage registry, you get that license and you can go ahead and contract your marriage in a licensed place by a licensed minister, as long as they've given you license. Another thing you can do is, get married in a licensed place of worship, but then you can also record or air it or make people watch it via Zoom. That one, your wedding is not via Zoom. You are just airing it via Zoom. But then, if you intend on being in one place and your husband being in another place and you want to solemnize marriage that way or you want to celebrate marriage that way, it is not lawful according to the laws in Nigeria. Your last option is wait. That might be a long term, but that's the other option. If you cannot fulfill all these conditions, if you cannot go according to the laws, then the best thing for you to do is just wait to when the pandemic is over and then you can contract your marriage. I hope this was able to help you. Don't forget to keep staying safe, take responsibility, wear your mask, wash your hands, use your sanitizers, and God keep us all. Thank you for watching today's episode of What Does the Law Say? What does the law say? I'll tell you next Thursday. Bye for now.